Alright, hey guys. You see up here we have some of our previous examples that we did in our last lesson where we had some multi-step equations where we used the distributive property, combining like terms, and inverse operations. So now we're going to take it one step farther to this idea of variables on both sides. Okay, and so I gave you the three things that I personally would do in order to solve these problems, like things that I would do in this order. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is move variables to one side and try to keep them, positive. So first thing I would do is combine like terms, combine our variables. We are going to have to use inverse operations. Okay. Okay. So we are going to have to use those inverse operations to do that, all right? But my goal always is to keep my variable positive. Can my variable be negative? Absolutely. Is it going to change the problem? No. All right, we're just going to end up dividing by a negative. I don't like negatives, so that's why I try to keep my variable positive, all right? But after I move my variable to one side, we use those inverse operations to move everything else to the other side, like the complete other side. So if I move my variables to the left side, I have to kick everything else to the right side of the equal sign, or vice versa. And then once I do that, I multiply or divide by whatever number is in front of the variable, whatever that coefficient is. All right. So I have two examples, and I'm going to kind of try and do them in different colors and kind of write out the steps that I did to get there so that way you can see them. Okay, so let me flip this page over. This is what happens when you're on Thanksgiving break and don't have a printer. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is actually just draw my line going down through that equal sign so I know my boundary. Let me turn this light off again. There we go. All right, so the first step that I had on the other side was to brain fart, wow, move the variable, combine the variable. So right now I see that this is a positive 7n and this is a positive 5n. Okay, they're both positive. So to move them to the other side, so if I move the 5 over here, I have to do the opposite, so I'd be subtracting. If I move the 7 over here, I would also be subtracting. And my goal is to, whenever I subtract them from each other, my goal is to have a positive number. So if I subtract 5 from 7, I get 2. But if I subtract 7 from 5, I get negative 2. So I'm going to subtract 5n from both sides. Okay, so these are going to zero out, so I'm left with a positive 6, and we don't have to put the plus there, we can just leave it. 7n minus 5 is a 2n minus 2. And for those of you who are like, wait, what did she just do? I combined variables using the inverse ops. Okay, so that was the very first thing I did. Okay, now the second thing was to move everything else to the other side. So using inverse operations, I'm going to have to move this 2 to this side. So I see my minus sign here. So inverse operations tells me I'm going to add. So I'm going to add 2. If I add 2 to this side, I have to add 2 to this side. Okay, so these zero out. So I have 2n equals 8. So what did I do? I used inverse ops to combine my constants. because that's what these are. These are the constants. There's no variable there, so we have constants. Okay, and now the last step would be to either multiply or divide. And we know we have a coefficient and a variable. They're right next to each other, so I know that I'm going to divide, because the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide by 2 on that side, I have to divide by 2 on this side. So remember, those turn into like the number 1. So I have a 1n equals 4. We can get rid of that 1 if we want to. We don't have to have it there. So n equals 4. Okay, and the step that I did was I divided by coefficient. Okay, so I'm going to do those exact same steps for this one down here. I'm just not going to write my steps along the side. Okay, so I'm going to draw that line. Okay, so I notice I have a negative 4y and a positive 3y. So in order to make this keep my variable positive, I'm going to have to add 4y to both sides. Because if I subtracted 3y, I would have a negative 7y. So when I add the 4y, those zero out. So I'm left with 13 on this side. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7 y. I can count tonight, guys. 8 equals 13. So that was the first step. I combined the variables using inverse operations. Okay. The second step is use those inverse operations to combine the constants. So if I moved the variable to this side, I have to move the constant to this side. So I'm going to add 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 21. Y'all ever see that, what was it, that Vine where he's like, what's this plus this? And he's like, 21, or is it 12? I don't remember. Okay, anyways, those zero out. We have 7y. So now I see this is multiplication. Opposite is division. So I divide by 7. So we get that 1y equals 3. Okay, remember you don't have to write that 1 there, but you can if you want.